Michele Okoh, and I'm here with the star of Steven of the Universe. Yes, and he is here for Raleigh Supernod. So one of the things we were talking about was about how accessible the show is. So how do you make the show accessible to not only teenagers, youngsters, but also parents like me who are watching?
Yeah, that's a great question. The difference, I think, is obviously this is coming from the perspective of the crew mostly, because they write a brilliant show and we just get to voice act in it. But they basically just make a good quality show. It's an 11-minute cartoon. There's some aspects of it that are more traditional animation-inspired, cartoon-inspired antics, but if you make a show with a good narrative that's got good comedy in it as well, the kids are going to enjoy it because they're going to be able to follow the story, and the parents can enjoy it because it's not pandering to the kids. It's not talking down to them. Like, do you know what this is? It's very. It doesn't have to explain itself. It just exists as a story and a narrative, and that's why I love working on the show. Because any actor loves working on a show that is artistically driven like that.
And it's very entertaining to watch. But Steven's story is kind of sad. How do you bring the comedy of that to also kind of the tragedy that Steven faces, and to kind of young kids, I guess, who are also kind of dealing with loss themselves?
I was talking about this with a fan earlier at the booth. It's, Steven starts off the show, he's very childlike, he's relatively irresponsible, immature, and he grows over the course of the show, which already in a short format cartoon, it's rare to see development like that, which is awesome. But you have this idea of who Steven is as a person. His character's developed as this kid who's like really curious and sees the best in people, and you put him in these situations where his will is tested, his morals are tested, and that shapes his development further, because some of the situations he's been in, especially in the later arcs, as of recently, have been dark. They've been very dark. They force him to make tough decisions that are way beyond anyone at his age should have to make. But we see him hold fast a lot of the time in everything he believes in, and that's really the interesting thing to play is, where is Steven being a kid and where is Steven having to be an adult, and how does that shape Steven when he's in his normal life?
And kind of Steven he's kind of the only one of his kind, really.
Sure.
So how do you think that communicates to, I guess, a lot of adolescents who are watching your show, who are dealing with kind of identity and coming up and seeing who they are?
It shows Steven confused often, because there's really an extent, a limit to which the gems can tell him about who he is, because they don't really know. They don't know what happens in certain situations where he's in danger. They don't know how he's going to grow, what his future looks like. The gems often are scared because their entire mission is to protect Steven from Rose, the mission that Rose gave them, and it's difficult for both of them, both the gems and Steven. But it also gives him purpose, I think, in a lot of ways, because he's championing all these people, all these gems who are different and unique in their own ways. The main gems, Pearl, Garnet, Amethyst, and now Lapis and Peridot, and recently the off-colors were just introduced, they're all outcasts from society in different ways in the homeworld because they're different, they're unique, and Steven is taking up the mantle of protecting them and standing up for their rights, and showing the universe that you can be this way, and that I think that message goes beyond just the narrative of the show. I think it speaks to a lot of viewers just based on some of the comments I get from fans to the affirmative. So I love it.